A silent genocide. That's what some call the Rohingya crisis, a tragedy that has been unfolding for decades. Born from a rich tapestry of cultures, the Rohingya people trace their roots back to Arab, Malay, Bangladeshi, and even Indian ancestries. They consider themselves not just residents, but the indigenous people of the Rakhine region, a claim that has been a point of contention for centuries. As the world moved forward, so did the history of the Rohingya, with the colonial era marking a significant turning point. The 19th century saw the Arakan region become a part of British India after the Anglo-Burmese War. This period brought with it a wave of migrant workers from Bengal, introduced by the colonial government to work in the rice fields of Arakan. But every story has its dark chapters. With the end of colonial rule, however, came the beginning of a new era of conflict. Myanmar's independence in 1948 marked a turning point in the Rohingyas' history. The post-colonial period saw a deepening of conflict between the Rohingya and the Myanmar government. A pivotal moment came in 1982 when the government passed a citizenship law. This law, in one fell swoop, labeled the Rohingya as foreigners, effectively stripping them of their citizenship. As the years rolled by, the tensions escalated, reaching a boiling point in 2017. The spark? A series of attacks by Rohingya armed groups. The response was a harsh crackdown by the Myanmar military. This retaliation was brutal, resulting in the death of thousands. The violence triggered an exodus, displacing hundreds of thousands of Rohingya. They fled their homes, their land, their country, seeking refuge in neighboring Bangladesh. And so began one of the world's largest refugee crises. The international community watched in horror as the Rohingya people were driven from their homes. As the crisis unfolded, nations around the world condemned the actions of the Myanmar government. The expulsion of the Rohingya people sparked outrage and concern, thrusting the issue into the global spotlight. This crisis posed significant diplomatic and humanitarian challenges. International bodies like the United Nations, along with various governments, have been grappling with the situation. They've been working tirelessly to mitigate the suffering of the Rohingya, providing aid and advocating for their rights. The pressure exerted on Myanmar has been immense. Calls for an end to discrimination and violence against the Rohingya have been widespread. Advocacy groups, nations, and international bodies have all stressed the need for Myanmar to protect the rights of this marginalized group. The Rohingya history, marked by suffering and controversy, continues to unfold. The quest for peace and an end to the humanitarian crisis remains a global concern.